amazing person. Kristen Helmstetter, she wrote the book Coffee Self-Talk. If you have not read this book, you must get it. And we're going to share the link where you can buy it. She wrote more than 10 books about self-talk. And she has also a very popular podcast where she's talking about coffee self-talk and teaching everybody how to live a magical life. So I'm so excited to get her on here so she can tell you everything behind the book, how she started and how it impacted her life. And she's impacting so many people. So I'm so excited to get her on. I have the books here, okay? I have one for my daughter, Coffee Self-Talk for Teens. There is Wine Self-Talk if you don't drink coffee and you just drink wine. There you go, you got that one too. There is also a tea one and there is the coffee one. That's the original. And there is a new edition now that she wrote. Oh, she's on! I'm so excited. Hold on. Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning.
I'm so excited.
I know, me too. So excited. Coffee.
I did not have coffee this morning yet, and I'm so like, whoo! I had my water, I had some tea, I did my self-talk, I took a shower.
Yes, you got gussied up. You smell wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. I put a lot of perfume. At least you can smell me. All right, well, I kind of introduced you a little bit. I shared a little bit about your book. For anybody who did not read the book, you gotta get it. And there is also a book for dudes. Yeah, I show everybody the original. There is a teen version. There is a wine version for the afternoon. And there is a journal. There is so much, guys. There are over 10 books, and you can find the right one for you. She also have an amazing podcast that you should check it out. And there's an amazing workshop coming up on the 16th. There is so much. And we got the privilege to have her here with us sharing about the book, how the book was born, what was the whole story behind it. So I'm super excited. I'm going to give you the mic and let you share.
Well, thank you so much for your enthusiasm. I get so excited and jazzed when I talk to people and when I see like your beautiful, huge smile. It's been like, I've been doing Coffee Self-Talk for a few years. I wrote the book a couple years ago, and it kind of took people by storm because I realized that there were a lot of people living their lives feeling the way that I used to feel, which was like, I would wake up in the morning and I would feel kind of like I didn't have a lot of purpose or direction, or I felt like I was kind of languishing. I had stresses and anxieties, and I let them rule me, right? Like I would wake up and I would just start going about my to-dos, and I just didn't have enough happy moments. And the weird thing is that I was optimistic. I always considered myself this glass half full person, but yet, even though my life looked good on paper, I didn't feel really good in my mind. And when I changed the way I talked to myself with self-talk, it totally changed my life. But before that happened, so I'm in Arizona, and at the time my daughter was 7 years old and happily married, and again, on paper life seems fine, seems good, and I just wasn't feeling sparkle. So I said to my husband, let's sell it all and travel the world. Like, why not? I met my husband on eHarmony, and his profile picture was of him coming into his house with a suitcase. So like he was a traveler. So I felt like he'd probably be game for this crazy plan to sell it all and travel the world. So we did. That's what we did. We spent like the next year and a half. We slowly sold stuff. Our lease was running out on our condo, and we made plans to go abroad. And we did that. And fast forward like a year later, and it's beautiful and cobblestone streets and the most amazing coffee, and we're sitting in ancient cafes, and it's just, again, on paper, life is la dolce vita. It's spectacular, but I still didn't have any sparkle. Like, I was just like, what's going on? It's like I just picked myself up and I went somewhere else, but I was still the same me. And don't get me wrong, being kind of sad in Italy is pretty still kind of amazing because it's Italy. But I was still waking up with kind of the same like weight, the same kind of lack of joy. And I just felt like we were destined to live so much better. I felt in my core that something was missing, and I just didn't really know how to go about getting it. But what I did know, because I was a self-help person, big Tony Robbins fan for 20 years and all that, I know that to change your life, you have to change your behaviors and your thoughts. And my husband's father is Shad Helmstetter, who is like the father of self-talk. He's been on Oprah, he's written books, he's been, talking about it and writing about it for decades. But even though I knew what self-talk was by then, by the time I met my husband, and I had always been like a goal-oriented person, right? Write down my goals, have details. So like I knew things, right? But I didn't really realize what self-talk was. And we would talk about it now and then, but it wasn't like a focus of our lives. It wasn't this, like I didn't have a strategy for it. So I'm in Italy one morning and I'm sitting at my kitchen table and I've got my cup of coffee and my morning did not feel beautiful. And yet I've got this view of, again, just beautiful Italy. And I'm like, where's the magic? So I got to change my behavior. So I think, well, what's one of my behaviors? Well, I drink coffee every morning. And what else do I do when I drink coffee? I get on social media. I get on email. I do these things that are like, they're rarely uplifting. They're rarely magical or beautiful. So I took my phone that morning and I put it into airplane mode and I opened up the notes application and I started typing lines of self-talk to myself, positive lines like, I love my life. I love me. I'm generous and kind. And like all these different things just started kind of pouring out of me. They were aspirational in a way. Cause like, I didn't really feel that way totally. Like I am worthy. Like I realized I didn't really feel it, but I wrote it anyway. And I take a sip of my coffee and I read a line of my self-talk and I take another sip and oh my God, like I had one of the best mornings of my life. It felt like the sparkles were coming. It was like a light bulb went off. I was just like, I'm onto something. This is a beautiful morning. Starting off just talking nicely to myself. And so I showed up every day to do it after that. And every day got better and I started to just be more relaxed and I still had anxiety, but it wasn't like over time, it wasn't ruling me. I was starting to rule it, right? Like it doesn't mean your life is suddenly perfect, but you learn how to navigate it like a master. So I'm doing it for like a few weeks and the navigating as a master with anxiety and stuff, that's a little bit more long-term, but so I'm doing it for a few weeks and everything's getting better and I'm starting to smile more and I'm starting to feel more energy and more inspired. And my husband comes into the kitchen one day and I'm like, okay, I got to tell you, I do this thing. And I felt so silly. I felt so dorky. And I'm like, I call it coffee self-talk. And he was like, oh my God, that's awesome. You got to write a book about that. And then I did. I wrote a book.
Yes.
People started to fall in love with it because it was like this invitation to be good to yourself. A little bit in the morning, every morning while you have your cup of coffee, start your day out right, just saying nice things to yourself. And it has totally transformed my life. It has helped me with my confidence. It has helped me with my self-esteem. It has helped me with, I became a romance author. I never thought I was creative at all. It's changed me as a mom. It's changed me as a wife. It's made life so much more enjoyable. I wake up so many more days happy, I dance more. And it's just words. It's just things I say to myself. So that's the long story.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. You basically simplify all the incredible things that we hear from a motivational speaker, but it seems so heavy and you don't know where to start. It's like you made it tangible, you made it easy, you made it simple and digestible. So everybody, anyone, even me, that English is my second language, and I was like so scared when I saw there is only a written option. I'm like, oh, okay. It was easy read. It was so like amazing, and it helped me so much that I made my kids read it, and my husband, and everybody's like, this is something. It's like when you're praying in the morning, this is the way you talk to yourself, because whatever we say to ourselves, we're going to end up believing it, even if it's a lie. Even if you're not a coward, but you keep saying to yourself, I'm a coward, your brain's going to believe it, and you're going to act accordingly. And this is, even though in the beginning, like you said, you felt silly when you're saying those things, it's maybe like your mind tells you, yeah, sure, you are. But then you keep saying it, you overwrite what your old brain was telling you all the time and beating yourself down. So this is like fighting against those negative thoughts that we all have. We all have them. I find myself, even though I do it every day, I find myself during the day having those negative things coming and, trying to sabotage my moment. But then you're aware of it and you can say something counteractive to that. So it's amazing.
Times where I also would, like, a negative thought would sneak in, and I would actually do something kind of obnoxious. I would like clap my hands, or I'd start snapping my fingers.
Woo!
And I would say the word change, or I would say it in my head if like I was, in public or something. But I made it this big deal that I caught myself saying something negative. And then, like you said, I immediately replaced it with something positive. And, some people, it's easier than for others. Like when my mom started doing positive self-talk, and I told her, look at yourself in the mirror while you do it, which is a very weird experience, to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love me, and all that's very weird. But she cried. And so many people do, they cry and they don't believe it. They don't feel like they're worthy. And the reason coffee self-talk and just positive self-talk in general is so powerful is because it does change your beliefs. It builds this foundation that you create of self-worth. And when you have that, everything in your life changes. You absolutely show up to life differently, and you start to see different things. I mean, when you think something, whether it's good or bad, your brain is like, it's like you're the coach and the brain is the player, right? The brain just listens to what you say and think. It's there to do your bidding. It's there to do what you say. And if you say nice things, your brain will help you start to look for things out in your life that are nice, or things about beauty. If you just wake up and say it's a beautiful day, life is beautiful, you start to see things that are beautiful because that's what your brain does. So I like to say, if you change your focus, which is your words, your thoughts, you will change your feet. Because change your focus, change your feet, because you will start to move on a different path because you'll simply see good things. On the other hand, if you have negative thoughts, if you watch the news a lot and there's always, just negativity and fear mongering and things that bring up your anxiety, well, then you'll start to see those things in your life because it becomes what you know. So set yourself up for success with simple words and thoughts. And over time, it does work. You do train your brain. I mean, it's marketing 101. Like, what does a company do when they want you to buy their product? They put it in front of you every which way. TV impacted anything. TV, radio, podcasts, Instagram ads, everything they can do, they will, just to put it in front of you, because they know that repetition works. It will train you. And it does.
Consistency.
It's fascinating. And so we can take advantage of this. I'd like to say, like, it makes you think that your brain is really stupid because, like, you don't believe whatever you tell it, but it will. So take advantage of it because it's brilliant.
Yes. Well, your brain is like a sponge. Whatever liquid you put into it, it's going to absorb it. And I like to compare it to also exercise. It's just your brain is a muscle, and by putting negative things, it's going to be a negative mindset. If you're putting positive, it's going to be positive. You go to the gym, you work out every day, your muscle will build, and you're going to get healthier. If you train your muscles to sit and watch and binge watch TV and never go outside and never breathe fresh air and eating junk food, your muscle will look just like that. So it depends on the practice, the daily practice. And you made it so simple in the book because everybody drink coffee. We always come with excuses. We go to this amazing event, and we got so inspired, and we like on fire. Yes, tomorrow's gonna be an amazing day. I'm gonna start living my best life tomorrow. And then you're like, okay, where do I start? And then you fall back to your old habit, and your mind from before is very strong because you've done it for so many years, and it was so negative, and it's full with things. So you don't know what to do, and you just, whatever you just read, whatever you just did is like flying away. And with the book, with the coffee self-talk specifically, everybody drink coffee. If you don't drink coffee, you drink cocoa. If you don't drink cocoa, you drink tea. If you don't drink tea, you drink water. You drink something in the morning. When you're doing that practice, this ritual, you're just adding those words to yourself. Just talk positive to yourself, and that's it. This is just so simple.
It's 5
amazing.
minutes.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
5 minutes, and you are worthy of 5 minutes. You're worthy of so much more. But let's just start with 5. You are worthy of 5 in the morning while you have your coffee, and you say nice things to yourself. So in the book, a lot of people struggle in the beginning with like what to say. So in the book, in the second half of it, I provide a bunch of, I call them scripts. It's like 20 to 25 affirmations that I've written, and they have different themes. So one's on abundance, one's on magical living. I even have one in there on fertility, relationships, love, all that stuff. Parents, I have one in there for kids. And I give you, the cheat sheet, to get started. And they're the scripts that I use. They're the scripts that I love for me personally. And so some of them are a little bit out there. Some of them are a bit flowery and, sparkly and all that, because I love glitter and sparkle and all that. And I teach you how to write your own in the book, so that if my words don't resonate with you, I teach you how to find those words that do resonate with you the most, so that you look forward to it. And you will, because it feels good to be good to ourselves. Even if it feels weird at first, I promise you, if you show up every day, it will make a difference.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, I love those scripts because I could not come up with any ideas, and you can adjust it the way I take from each one, like the one I like, and you really made it so simple and so easy for anybody. And I absolutely love it. And from the moment I read this book, I was like obsessed with you. I was like following you here, following you there.
I know, you sent it, you took a picture. It was so awesome. I'll never
Yes, on the beach. Yeah.
And I showed my husband, and I was like, look at Coffee Self-Talks on the beach. And he says, that's a great picture. Write to her and ask if we can use it in marketing.
Yes, I took it everywhere. It's like I take my Psalm and my Bible, and I take your book. It's all together when I travel. When I went to Israel, when I went to the beach here in the United States, it's everywhere with me because it's really helpful. It's, when you have little moments, you just go and you read it.
Yeah, and sometimes you forget how awesome you are. And sometimes you even when you train your brain, you still, on occasion, you come back and you have little reminders. You carry a book around, or you have I have my little scripts on my phone, and I'll be in the line at the post office, and I'll pop it open and I'll start reading some affirmations, because that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do to find more happiness and joy and worthiness. And yeah, it'll change your life. Self-talk changes.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this amazing story behind the book and about yourself. And guys, we're going to go live 2 more times. We're going to go live on YouTube as well. And we're going to go live on Facebook. And if you check our story, her story, my story, I'm going to put the link for her workshop that's going to happen on the 16th. Get the book. The workshop will be free for you, and it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait.
Yes, it'll be my first time giving a workshop, so it's either going to be like, I don't know.
Amazing. Amazing.
We're going to have fun.
Yes, absolutely. Lots of fun. Can't wait to learn more.
Thank you so much.
Love you. Bye, sweetheart.
Love you too. Ciao, ciao.